Hello and welcome to my hotel review. This is of the Radisson in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, and I chose exact wrong time for vehicles to pull in. I'm zoomed in tight enough, it's really hard to hold this steady. First thing is, you would think where that sign is, that's where you enter. You don't. And that'll be explained a little bit later, but you can ultimately enter that way. But for now, this is how you get in. You get in on Alpine Lane in front of the Paramount Plaza, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And funny thing is, you just have a small section of sidewalk, and then it's just walking in the street. This is a nice little shopping plaza. And this is all new right here. You have Jimmy's Pizza, which ain't open. Nothing here is open today. That being because it's the 4th of July, and the thing that I do every year, unless it falls on a weekend or close enough that my business will allow the Friday, if it falls on a Thursday, to be another day we can take off. My neighbors love to shoot off fireworks. The whole neighborhood does. Till about 3 a.m. And I need to show up for work again at this point in time around 4:30. Needless to say, I would get absolutely zero sleep. So like I did the last year, I am staying at a hotel that is the closest one to work that's not in a residential area. There is one further up that way on Route 110. And it's a Best Western, but it's in a residential neighborhood, and that might be a problem with fireworks. So once again, this is a necessity for sanity and to be able to sleep. And kick a rock out of the road. And here's the other small segment where there's actually a sidewalk. Now this is just a plaza added on. Has nothing to do with the hotel. And here it is all by itself. There's somebody there, so I'm trying not to get them in frame. And here it is, the Radisson. Now it was built sometime either in the late 80s or early 90s. And the architecture kind of points towards late 80s perhaps. And when I first saw this sign here, and yeah, that sign is leaning to the right and slightly backwards, that there might be issues here. And yeah, I found some, but start with the property. The immediate outside, there's almost nobody here. And got a nice gazebo. Let's go in. Yeah, this is not that bad. And this used to be part of the hotel, and this is why you can't get in. It's a construction site. There used to be a bridge connecting the two. They separated it, and now it's going to become a Holiday Inn Express. Going to, because it's still a thing under construction. I know when my workplace moved here to Chelmsford that this thing was completely gutted out. The windows weren't even in. But you can kind of see this and that kind of look alike, except this one's got a more modern look to it. Now if I come out over here, you can see that there's a door levitating in the air. That's where a bridge used to be. Right there. In fact, you definitely can see the scar of a bridge being there. Although I have no idea how it joined up to here, being that the floors are at different heights altogether. It's still under construction. I don't think, yeah, this place is still not even open. But we're going to go inside, and they do play music, so I might have to strip out the audio altogether, or or I'm going to have to talk loud, put some drown out stuff in hopes of not having issues. I mean, I did that to the Disney World video and it still was able to pick out music. So I'm just going to have to wait and see how it goes. In case I can get away with it, I'll just talk a little louder over the music, or I'll just add in the bullet points anyway, and then I'll have something to go on when I completely dub out the track. We don't know. Again, here's the parking, and it is a nice, cool, crisp 94 degrees. It's much cooler than it's been. It's been like 95, 96, so much better day. Here we are. Registration. I mean, okay, before I turn the camera, make sure none of these rooms are visible. You can kind of see it has a dated look, and it definitely has a worn look to it. There have been reviews stating that this place is horrendous, but this place has gone under renovations last year and into this year, so it shows in some ways, but in other ways it doesn't. I've seen reviews even this year that aren't good, but I've also seen reviews that were great. So let's go into the hotel and spook out the guy behind the front desk with this camcorder. Here's the waiting area. Trying not to get the guy in there, but there's the front desk. And over this way we got the pool and fitness area. Sales office. Yeah, they changed out the music. It might be light enough I could just drown it out. Alright. We do have some small rooms you can rent, like the Concord Room. We have restrooms for people that work here. And we got a business center here, and they both appear to have IBM PCs. There's a Lavano and another Lavano. And over here's the pool area. Now, if the pool is in use, I will hopefully be able to come back. Oh, it looks like it's in use. Well, this is the pool building, and unfortunately my card, for some reason, wouldn't work in the door. And it was in use till the closing time for the 4th of July, being 6 o'clock. So this is the best way to do it, and I looked in just to be sure no one was actually staying behind. And this is kind of the pool. I've actually seen it in person. It is pretty nice, and it is pretty big. There's no lifeguard on duty. You got a little seating area over there. There are locker rooms as well, I believe off to that side, but like I said, couldn't get to see them. So this is what I could get from the swimming pool area. Unfortunately, this was it. All right, this is the fitness center, and again, I'm talking loud to go over the music and the drown out stuff. I'll try if it will work. We got plenty of stationary bikes, a couple of treadmills, some fat slob holding a camera, universal weight system over here, and of course we got the dumbbells over here. And we don't have 50 pounders, but we got 40 pounders, and they are, as one channel on YouTube would say, TJ Elevator fan, that they glue them down. I just showed you they're not glued down. Yeah, door's a little worn out there. On the way back to the front, this says gift shop, but it's actually a menu store for food. Ding dong. Got some selection here, depending on what you're looking at. typical of a smaller hotel. It's actually not pretty bad. And unlike the other place we stayed at last year, they clean their microwave that's in general use. That's a good thing. We like that. And now we go to the other side of the building. We have Independence Bar and Grill. We also have a drawing room, which doesn't look like there's a lot of drawing going on, but it looks like a room you can rent or hold a function in. Now we can have the music going because they're just playing an ad. Employees area that's just wide open. The executive boardroom. I bet we're not supposed to be able to see this. No, but we are. It's because they're leaving it wide open. Yeah, it's nice to see things that are wide open. The Chelmsford Room, or as the locals do call it, and I joke about stuff, but I'm actually being serious this time. The locals call it Chelmsford. Yeah, like I say, typically we joke about that. Public women's and men's room here. And we've got the Carlisle room here. This place has a humidity problem, that's for sure. And an elevator room, and this is the entrance to the main entrance to the conference center area. Radisson Hotel and Suites, happy 4th of July. Here's a map of things. That's where we are. And there used to be a bridge, which I pointed out, but no longer exists. So here we are in the main hallway, as I, again, try to talk over the music. That is an area you don't go. That's actually employees only. It says it on the back door. I walked in there and made that mistake. Again, it's on the other side of the door and I have it propped open, so I didn't know. So I'm not going in there. You got a nice grand area. I mean, that looks really nice. And we got the salons. I don't know why they call the giant rooms salons, but oh, this was locked. Now it's actually open. We turn on a light. There we go. If they don't mind, we're just getting a hotel tour. Very nice room. I like it. Now to put this as we found it. This was literally unlocked. I mean, this was locked tight when I literally just walked through 20 minutes ago. Off goes the light. I don't need it. The Grand Ballroom. Salon B. I think they're all the same. Yeah, this one's locked. And Salon C, which is probably the same as A, except it has a letter C instead of A. Slightly smaller one. As you can see, they have a dividing wall, so you can open them all up if you need to. This one has a presentation screen. And the fourth ballroom was converted into a restaurant and bar and grill, the Independence Bar and Grill. Right there. That's literally what they did. They just took a ballroom and turned it into a bar and grill restaurant. There's the bar section. And over here, there's one more room, but probably not noteworthy. And over here used to be this used to be the entrance to the hotel over there. No more. The Middlesex room. It's open. Completely empty. But it's very nice looking. None of these seem to be poorly maintained either. Now to head up. See what's upstairs. Again, we came up the stairs and we'll look at some of the rooms here. I believe that's employees only, so we'll not bother with that. Baby grand. Hotel elevator for this area. Got the men's and ladies' rooms here. That one is well marked. As we go over this way, I believe this was open. The Merrimack room. In fact, I know it is because the door's still in the same position I've seen it. Deadbolt. Purposely extended. Close it the same way it was found. Very big room. The air conditioning is not working in here. They probably don't turn it on unless they're going to use it. I mean, that would make sense. There's the chairs you need. And the camera's making it look a lot brighter than what it really is in person. If I want to really do that, you hit the exposure button here. And nope, wrong way. Yeah, it might be a slight exaggeration, but that's as bright as it looks in person. Maybe a hair darker than I really wanted it to be. Employees area there. And over there as well. The camera back on. And that's probably employee area as well. Put this just as we found it. A desk of some sort for some reason. The Hawthorne room. Apparently this was going to be used by Faith Chapel, which isn't really here. Again, another nice looking room. And this is all tarped off. I bet that's employee area yet again. And I believe that is all we're going to see. I don't quite recall anything in there. Nope. Just a fire exit. This little wedding arch here. Pretty nice. And of course we got our fire exit. Oh, it's hot as anything. Looks a little beat up and I've seen better days, but not too bad, really. I mean, for pretty much something that's more of a service thing than it is for actual use other than fire exit. Not really that bad. Okay, so there's only one thing to do now, besides come back to the pool a little later and get a view of that. So let's look at the room. The stairwells. Hot, humid, and let me adjust it to look like what it does in person. and very creepy. This is what it looks like in person. Yeah. Ridiculously huge landings, though. Oh, it gets slightly better down here. Yeah, they might want to light these up better. Heck, even Sony doesn't want to focus on it. There you go. And camera's version. Nowhere near that bright in person. You may have noticed that I was walking by the front hall. You would have seen the elevator. This is the main one. And this is where things start to go downhill for the property. It's not here. But they're in pretty rough shape as it's on its way up. This is what a floor looks like. Here it is. We're just going to show you what it looks like because this is what you're greeted with before you go to the room. It is beat up. They like to sink when you step in. Very nasty. And a very impatient vehicle it is. Look, this phone box, it doesn't shut. There's goo and slime all over everything. Mystery stains there. Floors are a little cracked, but you'd expect that. I mean, it's completely worn. We'll let you go. It needs a little help, and so I'm gonna go into the room, but before we do that, I kind of need to set it up because I'm doing this on the fly. I was prepared the last time I did this because I was able to get almost everything in one shot except, surprise, surprise, the pool area. And there's a lot of echo. And this place smells weird. It doesn't smell dirty, it just smells weird. It's probably the shampoo they use on the carpets because they're actually not that bad. But when you look at the doors here, I mean, it's a bit beat up. Yeah, I've seen more of the door sills that were in completely bad shape. That wasn't one of them. I'm not going to go any further than here. Yeah, this room. I mean, they haven't quite renovated. Oh, that's disturbing. I don't think anyone has 557. I don't hear anything, but you can see in the room. I am not going to angle further, just in case someone was in there. I don't think anyone was. I don't hear anything. Anyway, time to set it up. All right, before we go in my room, this is the room directly across. There's literally almost nobody here. Probably a few other people, and that's it. This door's been beat up. And like I said, the place has been around a while, so I mean, stuff like that is likely to happen. We're in 552. And I'm surprised what I'm getting for my 150 a night. First off, before we look, the door doesn't shut itself all the way. So you gotta push it in. And the security bolt works. Of course, unless you actually turn it. This thing's a little rusty, but it does fine. And of course we got the peephole. And the rooms, they show us where we are. Not exactly the best of ways, but... And there's 2 elevators here, one that goes into the conference center area that we've been in, the main one, which goes to the front desk. All right. This is the room. It's pretty huge, actually. For the amount of... There we go, Sony. And yes, this is literally as bright as we can get it. I'll get to the bed in a moment. Come here to this ottoman, it looks like, or small table for your luggage and what have not. It's actually not in that bad of shape. Painting. And we got ourselves a closet which has the mirror. And we got extra pillows and what have not. It's very dark in there. There's almost no light whatsoever. So we got the extra pillow here, which actually doesn't look too bad. And we open this one. Have extra sheets, which again don't really look too bad. I've heard the worst things is to look at the comforters. I'll put on this bed, and actually it doesn't look bad at all. All right, back up you go, along with you. All right, so the closet's good. The doors work pretty well. And we have a little end table here. And by the way, this one lamp in the whole building works on that on-off switch. So if I go over here, and here's the switch I'm talking about as you go in the room. Sony don't like focusing. You can kind of see I have to hold the camera with my shaky hand. That's it. That's the only light that turns on. So we come over here to the couch. I've examined this couch. It doesn't look all that bad. Is this one of those things that can pull out to be a bed? Yes, it can be. Do I want to? Probably not. It looks like there's some crumbs in there that haven't been cleaned. I mean, housekeeping's never going to be perfect. Like I said, this stuff's been around, so smudges like that, and that's stuff that'll happen. However, the stain on that lampshade there's a little stained. And again, the tables look pretty good. The carpet, actually, I've walked around it. It looks like it's been fairly well cleaned. And you might notice a light spot right there. That's because when I put my stuff down, I saw this spot that probably looked like candy or something that was left. I have video of it, and it was a roach. I don't think it was a cockroach, but it was a roach. I've been in buildings that were infested with that stuff, so I'm not too worried over one. I've scoured this entire area and it's roach free. I don't know if maybe I accidentally dragged it in when I put my stuff down at the front desk. Then again, I don't know why that would be a problem there. I think it might have been here. So yeah, there's a video of that. And we got a chair here which definitely needs to either be replaced or reupholstered. And you got a big hole here. It's stained here. At first I thought that was a hair, but it's a piece of plastic or a thread that's coming loose. And this definitely needs some work. I mean, it's been stained here, and I know that over time that this stuff does get stained and wear for tear, so I mean I expect that. And this lamp here has this weird foot pedal switch. kind of interesting. Again, we got chairs that, I mean, you can tell they've been around a while because of the nicks and scratches, which are okay. There's quite a bit of staining here, stains there. Yeah, they need to be either reupholstered or replaced. Yeah, this one, it's all stained, and there's a hole in that one. And the chairs themselves, they seem pretty sturdy. The table, well, not so much, but I don't think it was designed to be for anything super strong. I mean, it's actually in not too bad a shape. Then we have the workstation over here, so to speak, because it's just a table with a lamp, but it does have some outlets and a couple of USB ports to charge your stuff. And okay, it's either a bit of twine that's come. Yeah, it's. For a minute, I thought it was a wet cobwebs. No, it's just a frayed thread from the carpeting. It's a place that's been kind of old. You're gonna see stuff like that. It's a little worn. Ceilings look pretty good, although I don't want to know what that is. If Sony wants to focus, come on, Sony, you can focus. I don't even know what that is. And there's a chip right there, but I mean, you know. I wonder how that scuff mark got there. That one's interesting. Well, it came off, whatever it is. I don't know what the heck it is, but it's down the drain. And speaking of, while we're here, this is the little kitchenette. Again, it's just seen a lot of use, so it's scratched up. Some wear on the surface is definitely worn here. And we got a microwave, which was fairly cleaned quite well. I think there might be just some smudges from fingerprints, but other than that, these cabinets look like there's goo on them, but house cleaning didn't seem to catch that. A couple of dishes, a couple of plates. I'm not sure if they were cleaned or they're just scratches from wear and tear. It's probably the latter. I've seen how beat up they get. Alright, and then we got under here, we got to turn on our magic light, and yeah, this is definitely worn out. This is not dirt. Kind of a hack job, ain't it? And we have we got one of these dish racks, which surprisingly isn't as disgusting as it could be. You can see it's kind of separating a little bit, but under a sink of all places, we got that's disgusting. This is supposed to be clean silverware, really? Yeah, I'm not using any of this stuff anyway. Yeah, the knives are disgusting. The pan, it's got stuff in it. I'm afraid to look at these pans, pots. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, there's a little something in there. Extra paper towels, which we'll put up on top. Alright, that could be those specks, and it's just dust. But there's smear marks there, and there's definitely smears and drops there. These have not been cleaned well at all. Yeah, silverware is disgusting. Sorry guys, but yeah, I can see why there's, let's turn off the light there. Why the reviews are pretty bad for some people and not so bad on others, because I mean the room overall is pretty nice. I just can't get over the roach that I found on the floor. I mean, they're probably going to hate to see this review and know that I spotted that. Probably complimentary water and an ice bucket, which is probably the cleanest container that I've seen. And we got the we have both the wall mount. I'm just going to turn it down 1 to 67. And the thing that sounds like an airplane, it's definitely sounds like it's had better days. And you can adjust it here as well. You can adjust it in both locations, which I think is pretty nice. How are the filters doing? Filters look pretty good. Now if I can only get it back in, there we go. Yeah, this one's got a little bit of something right there, but yeah, they're pretty clean. The insides, I know you can't see it on camera, but they look pretty clean as well. So, we also have these light blocking curtains and these blinds here that this room happens to have a view of the whole property, including the Holiday Inn over there. These windows do open, but I don't know if they're meant to stop here or they're just getting jammed up, because I can actually force it further, but I'm not going to go much further than that. They're very difficult. They're very difficult to operate, but do you really need to? Not really. I'll leave this open. I'm not. A little too far there. Actually, one thing I never get is why do they wallpaper the windowsills? I mean, that's probably the worst thing to wallpaper because it gets moist and it gets all crappy looking like that. However, this window's got a slight problem. I mean, this is nothing out of the ordinary. These older double pane windows tend to have problems with their seals. And you can see that here. The seal broke down and that window finally just settled in. So you can see kind of the mold has grown in there. It was wet. Oh, actually there's some moisture there. But mold is growing in between the panes. This is not uncommon to older windows. I mean, my apartment has that issue. Apartment my aunt had at one point had the same issue. It's a common issue with multi-pane windows with the old way of sealing it in. Now, I have not turned these on for a reason, and we will turn it on now, is the fan makes noise. Now, I've already gone through here and everything is pretty clean here. The fixtures are nice and clean, that's nice and clean. There's a spot there, but that could be, I don't know what. For a minute, when I first looked, I don't know if I can get my, it looked like, yeah, like that was that was dirt or something, but no, that's actually the surface. Got your small complimentary lotions, shampoo, and conditioner. Tissue box, which has a hair on it. But I do have to say, though, that despite of a little, that's actually just paint. I thought that was dirt, but they clean that up. The corners don't look too bad. The underside, if we turn on our light, yeah, they don't quite get the corners very well, but that looks like it's a tough area to get into anyway, so. And it's all neat and clean here. The toilet's pretty well kept. There's just a little bit of dirt and a little urine that they haven't cleaned. There's hairs everywhere. That I did not see. And a mark there. Oxidized much? That I don't know why that couldn't have been cleaned up. I mean, it's actually pretty good. I've been in here already, so maybe some of those hairs could have. No, those definitely didn't come from me. And then we have the shower, an exaggerated curved shower rod there. The linens look good. We got this sort of fake marble look going on here. Decent looking. No, actually, I don't know if the light's doing it good or not. It's kind of gross on the bottom there. But yeah, that's all nice and clean. That's all clean. This whole thing looks pretty good. I don't know what that is. It looks like an imperfection, if anything. And all this looks pretty nice as well. And the housekeeping is a bit on the sloppy side, I have to say. In some areas they do pretty well, in other areas not so well. TV, I tried to do the, you can't do internet on it. It's not a smart TV, and you can't, I've tried hooking up a computer to put something on there, and I can't. So that's the TV pretty much. It's just showing you a menu of what you can order, kids, live TV, regular television, and what have not. So I couldn't set that up. And the base is a little dusty. Can't really fault them with a little dust here and there. Then we got these chest of drawers, which after the roach I gotta kind of look at things at a much. Yeah, they look pretty. I mean, there's a hair there, probably an oversight, not a big deal, because I don't use these things either. There's there's stains in there, right there, and something right there. These surprisingly look, sound, and feel very cheap. And yeah, some markings there. Oh, I didn't see that. That's pretty. So yeah, like I said, after seeing the roach, I'm not putting anything on the floor. And we got this right here, the Holy Bible. I'm surprised these days people still do that. And it's not too bad, a little wear and tear. Again, some outlets here, and everything except for that one light you have to turn on at the source. You got the phone itself, which does not look nasty at all. We got the alarm clock over here, which again, Doesn't look like it's filthy in this lamp here. Yeah, something got on here. Frankly, I don't really want to know. And speaking of cleanliness while I'm at it, this picture, let's turn on the lights and turn this one off. I don't know if you can see it, but there's marks on this, water marks or other marks. And now the bed. Now when I first looked at this, I thought, oh wow, what a disaster this is going to be. But again, this is showing wear and tear that needs to be taken care of. They need to get rid of this cover, because this is actually the cover. I pulled it up and everything, and this does not follow the bed. So let's see how it looks. Well, we got a stain here. Looks like it might be a coffee stain. Yeah, those you're not going to get out. Yeah, see, the bed looks a lot smoother now. So this thing has pilled up in a big way and needs to be replaced. The bumps you see is the mattress, and oh, I thought I felt something digging into my hand, but no, that's just I did something to it at work, and that's kind of gross. They actually feel really nice too. This one's kind of crunchy. Not in a bad way, it's just probably the type of fill that's in there. I mean, they all feel nice, and I don't see anything bad with the other ones. This one does not make that noise. Okay, so I'm going to put that one over there and this disgusting one over there where I'm not going to be sleeping. Alright, the sheets themselves, they actually don't look bad. I don't see any hairs. I don't see any other mysterious things. Yeah, this is going to wind up touching the floor. Like I said, I scoured this whole thing, and that was the only roach I found, so we should be good. But I'm going to keep my stuff up, my personal stuff up. Yeah, I mean, it does not look bad. They look like they've cleaned it pretty well. This looks like it's been... This skirt looks like they just kind of tuck this stuff in, then not care to straighten it out. Frankly, I don't like these things at all. So I can see why they left it the way they did. They're a pain in the butt. They're not really good. So I mean, this isn't too bad, and I believe I took the sheet with the comforter. And the sheet, if I can, well, it looks like we're going to have to cut. I kind of threw everything to the floor all at once and not realized it. Alright, I put the sheet back on, and yeah, it definitely doesn't look too bad. I'm seeing the same little dot here. In fact, that might have been the same dot that we looked at. Yeah, it went completely through. I know bloodstains can be brownish, but I don't think it's that kind of brown. And again, it could be, I don't know. Everything else looks fine. And you got your fire alarm up there. At the 4th of July, it's considered the why bother renting a room season. It's completely dead. We are talking, for all this, just a mere $145 for the night. And like I said, it's because I want to sleep at night, not be kept up literally the entire day. So I avoid all the fireworks commotions where I live. So I can see why people say that this is a great place to stay, which I did look at this before. I totally forgot to show you the mini refrigerator freezer, both which are actually in fairly good shape other than a couple of wear and tear marks. Yeah, some more wear and tear marks there. That's what that is. So, I mean, there's things they definitely need to work on. I mean, we got the best and the worst in this room. This is kind of bad right here. The holes, the stains, which also happen on that cushion as well. It's stained really bad there. And then it's good stuff like this chair here, which actually is in, well, I was going to say fairly good shape, but then I saw these markings here and there. Could be just, again, wear and tear. Those paintings are pretty clean as well. $145 a night when I checked in as of July 4th, 2018, to avoid the firework fiasco at home. Nice giant room for the price. I paid the same amount for something that's about like maybe half this size. So that's the review, and hopefully I would be able to stitch together the video to put the pool in here. As when I tried to get to the pool, the door lock didn't seem to want to work. So this is my review. I would say, yes, I can see why people give this place very low ratings, but I've also seen how this place gets very high ratings. Because, I mean, a lot of things like this couch and the bed, they're in great shape. Some of the wooden furniture, yeah, it's a little beat up, but, you know, it's been around since the 80s and actually has held up quite well for as long as it's been around. And then we have the bad, like, the upholstery on this chair is stained and full of holes. Same with those two over there. And I just cannot get over the roach that was there. But like I said, I've went over this place with a fine-tooth comb, and there's nothing else, and my stuff ain't touching the floor. Just to play it safe. So yeah, I'm kind of middle of the road on this one. In a sense, it's good. In a sense, it's not. I would give it a second chance. I mean, I don't know. Well, next year, if they, for some reason, will make us work on a Friday when 4th of July is on a Thursday, might try the Holiday Inn next door because it was this place renovated over and changed. So, yeah, I'd say check the room out. Maybe you'll get a gem, because people have. Maybe you'll get something really nasty, which people have. I've got a little of both. Clean stuff here, clean stuff in there, some cleaning that they could do better, but wasn't so horrible, and then that. The mystery thing that was up there, and worn things that are just worn beyond what should be considered acceptable for a Radisson property. Enough droning on and on, because I really honestly would have to say I would have to give this place another shot. That is, the next time a 4th of July comes up where we're working on the 5th like this year. So that'll be it. I will say 3 out of 5. They've done well in some spots and not so well in others. George F551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.